The silent companion. Before we travel into the past, before we step into rooms filled with wires and metal, before we meet the dreamers and inventors, I want you to notice something. There is a quiet intelligence near you. It may be resting on your desk. It may be glowing softly in your hand. It may be humming almost invisibly beside you. It does not breathe. It does not sleep. It does not feel tired. And yet, it works for you constantly. It remembers your photos. It holds your words. It calculates numbers faster than any human mind. It connects you to people thousands of kilometers away. This object, so ordinary now, would have seemed like magic just 1 century ago. We call it a computer. But if we look deeply, if we allow ourselves to slow down and feel the weight of history, we realize something extraordinary. The computer is not just a machine. It is the physical form of a very old human desire. The desire to extend our thinking beyond the limits of our brain. For thousands of years, humans have asked, can we build something that helps us think? Can we create a tool that never forgets? Can we design a machine that calculates without error? The story of the computer is the story of this dream. And like all great human dreams, it began very quietly. Chapter 1. When Thinking Was Heavy. Imagine the ancient world. No electricity, no screens, no keyboards, no memory storage except the human mind. A farmer counts sacks of grain. A trader measures silver. A builder calculates stones for a wall. A king collects taxes from thousands of citizens. Numbers are everywhere, and numbers are dangerous. One small mistake in counting grain could mean hunger. One mistake in tax calculation could mean punishment. One error in construction could mean collapse. Human memory is powerful, but it is not perfect. So humanity begins searching for help. At first, the tools are simple: marks carved into wood, stones arranged in rows, knots tied in rope. Then comes something elegant, something portable, something structured. Abacus. A rectangular frame, rows of beads, a system of movement. At first glance, it looks like a toy, but in the hands of a skilled user, it becomes an extension of the brain. Beads slide, numbers shift, calculations appear almost magically. The abacus does not think, but it supports thinking. It reduces mental load. It makes calculation visible. For the first time in history, humans begin to share the work of thinking with an object. This is the first step toward computing. Chapter 2. Machines that predict the universe. Now imagine standing on the shore of the Mediterranean Sea more than 2,000 years ago. A storm rises. A ship disappears beneath the waves. Its cargo sinks into darkness. Centuries pass. Then divers discover fragments of bronze gears inside the wreck. At first, they seem meaningless, but as scientists study them, a realization slowly forms. These gears are not random. They are precise, mathematical, purposeful. This device becomes known as Antikythera mechanism. It is a machine that predicts eclipses, tracks planetary motion, calculates astronomical cycles. In an age without electricity, without modern tools, human beings created a mechanical model of the cosmos. It is not digital, it is not programmable, but it is computational. It transforms movement into mathematics. This is a profound moment, because for the first time, a machine does not simply help count objects, it helps understand reality. The idea is powerful. If we can build a machine that models the sky, perhaps we can build machines that model anything. Chapter 3. The dream becomes mechanical. Now we move forward to Europe in the 1600s. Trade expands, empires grow, science accelerates, mathematics becomes more complex. A young French mathematician named Blaise Pascal watches his father struggle with endless tax calculations, columns of numbers, long nights of work, frequent errors. Pascal wonders, what if a machine could do this work instead? He builds a device made of gears and wheels. Turn the wheel, the numbers change. Carry operations happen automatically. It is called the Pascaline. It is fragile, expensive, difficult to produce, but the idea is revolutionary. A machine can calculate without human thought. Soon after, another mathematician, Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz, expands the idea. He dreams of a machine that can perform all arithmetic operations automatically. The concept spreads quietly through Europe. Thinking can be mechanized. But the most radical vision is still to come. Chapter 4. The Man Who Imagined the Future. In 19th century England, amid steam engines and industrial smoke, a brilliant and often frustrated mathematician begins to imagine something extraordinary. His name is Charles Babbage. He is tired of human error in mathematical tables, tired of mistakes, tired of inefficiency. He wants perfection. He designs a machine called the difference engine. It calculates polynomial functions automatically. But then his imagination goes further. He begins designing something far more ambitious, the analytical engine. This machine will not just calculate one type of problem. It will follow instructions. It will store numbers, process them, output results. It will be programmable. The design includes memory, a processing unit, control mechanisms, input through punched cards. The architecture resembles modern computers so closely that it feels almost impossible. But Babbage never completes it. Technology is not ready. Funding disappears. The machine remains unfinished. Yet someone close to him understands its true significance. A young woman named Ada Lovelace. She sees beyond numbers. She realizes that a machine capable of manipulating symbols could create music, art, patterns. She writes detailed notes describing how such a machine could follow sequences of instructions. These notes become the first computer programs in history. The machine does not yet exist, but the idea of software is born. Chapter 5. War forces the machine to awaken. The early 20th century is filled with tension. Nations are growing more powerful, technology is advancing quickly, and the world is moving toward conflict. War changes everything. During World War II, governments face a terrifying problem. They need to calculate faster than ever before. They must decode enemy messages, calculate artillery trajectories, predict flight paths, design weapons, process vast amounts of data. Human mathematicians are brilliant, but they are slow. Mechanical calculators help, but they are limited. The world needs something new, something faster, something relentless, something that does not sleep. In laboratories filled with urgency and secrecy, engineers begin constructing electronic machines. One of the most famous is ENIAC. Completed in 1945 in the United States, ENIAC is enormous. It fills an entire room. 30 tons of machinery, thousands of glowing vacuum tubes, miles of cables running across the floor. When it operates, the room becomes hot. Fans roar constantly, lights flicker. Technicians monitor every movement. This is not a personal device. This is an industrial giant. And yet, for its time, it is astonishing. ENIAC can perform thousands of calculations per second. Tasks that once took days now take minutes. But programming ENIAC is difficult. There is no keyboard, no mouse, no screen. To change its function, engineers must physically reconnect wires and switches. Programming is not typing. Programming is wiring. Still, something has changed forever. Calculation has become electronic. Machines are no longer limited by gears and metal. They now move at the speed of electricity. Chapter 6. The Mind of the Machine. While engineers build massive electronic computers, a quiet theoretical revolution is taking place. A British mathematician named Alan Turing is thinking about the nature of computation itself. He asks a simple but profound question: what does it mean to compute? He imagines a universal machine, a machine that can follow instructions written on a tape, a machine that can simulate any other machine as long as it receives the correct instructions. This concept becomes known as the Turing machine. It is not a physical device, it is an idea, a model of how computation works. The implication is enormous. If one machine can simulate any other, then a single device could theoretically perform unlimited tasks. Not just mathematics, not just military calculations, anything that can be described as a series of logical steps. This idea becomes the foundation of modern computing. Software is born from this insight. The physical machine is only part of the story. The instructions, the logic, matter just as much. Chapter 7. The Problem of Size. Early electronic computers are powerful, but they are also fragile. They rely on vacuum tubes. Vacuum tubes are large, hot, energy-hungry, prone to failure. A single broken tube can stop the entire system. Engineers need something smaller, more reliable, more efficient. In 1947, at Bell Labs, a breakthrough occurs. Scientists invent the transistor, a tiny electronic switch, small enough to fit in the palm of your hand, durable, efficient, capable of replacing vacuum tubes. This moment cannot be overstated. The transistor is the beginning of miniaturization. Computers begin to shrink. Rooms become cabinets. Cabinets become desks. Then comes another leap, the integrated circuit. Multiple transistors placed onto a single silicon chip. And then, in 1971, Intel 4004. For the first time, the central processing unit of a computer exists on a single tiny chip. The brain of the machine is now microscopic. The giant has begun to collapse inward. Chapter 8. The Computer Comes Home. The 1970s feel like a moment of possibility. For decades, computers have belonged to governments, universities, and large corporations. They are powerful, but distant. Then a new idea appears. What if computers belonged to individuals? What if they were not tools of institutions, but companions of ordinary people? Young engineers and entrepreneurs begin experimenting. Companies like Apple I, BM, Microsoft enter the scene. A young visionary named Steve Jobs believes computers should be simple and beautiful. Another young visionary, Bill Gates, believes software will shape the future. Personal computers begin appearing in homes. At first, they're expensive, complicated, intimidating. But slowly, they become friendlier. Keyboards replace switches. Screens replace blinking lights. Operating systems make interaction easier. Families gather around screens. Children play early video games. Students write essays digitally. Workers store documents electronically. The computer is no longer a distant machine. It becomes personal. It becomes familiar. It becomes part of daily life. Chapter 9. The Desire for Freedom. But something still feels restrictive. The computer sits on a desk. It belongs to a room. It requires a fixed place. Engineers begin asking a new question. What if the computer could travel with us? What if it could move? Portable computing begins as a dream. Early portable computers are heavy, bulky, limited. But technology advances quickly. Microprocessors become faster, screens become thinner, batteries become lighter. By the 1990s, laptops begin entering mainstream life. They are still expensive, but they are powerful. Students carry them to class, professionals carry them to meetings, writers carry them to cafes. For the first time, your work can move with you. Your thoughts can travel. The computer is no longer tied to a desk. It becomes an extension of your mobility. Chapter 10. The computer becomes invisible. Today, computers are everywhere. Not just laptops, not just desktops. They are inside. Cars, medical devices, airplanes, smartwatches, home appliances. Tiny microprocessors operate silently, hidden inside ordinary objects. Modern laptops contain billions of transistors, billions, more computing power than the machines that once filled entire buildings. Cloud computing allows data to be processed in distant servers. Artificial intelligence expands the capabilities of machines. Computers recognize speech, translate languages, generate images, assist creativity. And yet, despite this complexity, the core idea remains simple. Input, process, output. The same logic imagined by early inventors, the same dream embodied by the abacus. Only the scale has changed. Chapter 11. The emotional meaning of the machine. The history of computers is not only technical, it is emotional. It is about human limits. We forget, we make mistakes, we grow tired. The computer does not. It extends our memory, it extends our calculation, it extends our reach. It allows us to speak across oceans, learn across cultures, create across distances. A student in a small town can access global knowledge. A family separated by continents can see each other's faces. An artist can create worlds that exist only in imagination. The computer is not simply a machine, it is a bridge between minds, between generations, between possibilities. Chapter 12. From rooms to laps. Think again about the journey. A room filled with metal giants, vacuum tubes glowing in the dark, engineers adjusting wires. Now compare that image to a thin laptop resting on your knees. Quiet, portable, elegant. The transformation is astonishing, but it did not happen overnight. It happened because humans kept asking, can this be smaller? Can this be faster? Can this be more personal? And with each generation, the machine moved closer to us, closer to our hands, closer to our lives, closer to our thoughts. Epilogue. The extended mind. The computer is not the end of the story. It is a chapter, a powerful chapter. Somewhere right now, in a laboratory, in a university, in a small bedroom filled with curiosity, someone is imagining the next transformation. Perhaps computers will become invisible. Perhaps they will merge with our bodies. Perhaps they will reshape how we think entirely. But one thing remains constant. The computer began as a dream to extend human intelligence beyond biological limits. From beads sliding on wooden rods to microchips performing billions of operations per second, the journey is breathtaking. The giant machines are gone. The rooms are quiet. Now the power rests gently beside you. And as you listen, you are not just hearing history, you are part of it. The story continues, silently, patiently, inside the machine that waits for your next command.